Republicans. Jim Talent, former senator from Missouri, senior fellow for the Bipartisan Policy Center. You can read stuff that he writes and link to it over at Jim Talent on Twitter/X. Jim is the guy that he and I off air have solved all of the world's problems many times over, but Jim, sadly, the world is still broken and it's actually in pretty bad shape right now.
Well, yeah, we have another major war or conflict in the Middle East, and it's over Gaza. I think this is the fourth, and it's likely to be the biggest because I think Israel's decided they have to go in and resolve the problem. I mean, the government has said the explicit objective is to destroy the military capabilities of Hamas, and that's what they're going to do. They've cleared out their side of the border.
They have to.
They're striking targets in Hamas now through the air, and I would expect in a couple of weeks the ground invasion to occur. And it's the only thing they can do.
Okay, so I want to cover in the limited time we have. I don't want to turn. This isn't funny. This isn't a game show, but I want to play a couple of clips for you and play what's that mean with Jim Talent. We start with Joe Biden, cut number 11. This is yesterday.
Iron Dome, and we moved the U.S. carrier fleet to the Eastern Mediterranean, and we're sending more fighter jets there in that region, and made it clear to the Iranians, be careful.
Jim Talent, what does that mean?
Well, it means that the president, anyway, I don't know about the rest of the administration, but the president understands the danger that Iran will trigger Hezbollah to attack from the north, or indeed the other elements of radical Islamic terrorism throughout the region to attack. And he's warning them off that. That's a good thing to do. If his administration had been stronger in dealing with Iran, it's possible that Iran wouldn't have greenlit this thing in the first place. One of the dangers here, Hugh, is the more the Middle East looks like it's about the Palestinians, the less able the Saudis are to normalize with Israel. And so the more the United States says we're going to constrain Iran, the more likely the Saudis are to deal with us. And you notice the Saudi MBS, the Saudi king or prince, just had a phone call with the Iranian president, because the more this looks like the Middle East is about the Palestinians, the less room for maneuvering the Saudis have to normalize with Israel.
Cut number 2, Harley.
And then 2 nights ago, I read all of Biden's security people. Can you imagine? National defense people. And they said, gee, I hope Hezbollah doesn't attack from the north, because that's the most vulnerable spot. I said, wait a minute. You know, Hezbollah is very smart. They're all very smart. The press doesn't like when they say it. You know, I said that President Xi of China, 1.4 billion people, he controls it with an iron fist. I said, he's a very smart man. They killed me the next day. I said he was smart. What am I going to say? But Hezbollah, they're very smart. And they have a national defense minister or somebody saying, I hope Hezbollah doesn't attack us from the north. So the following morning they attacked. They might not have been doing it, but if you listen to this jerk, you would attack from the north, because he said that's our weak spot.
Jim Talent, what does that mean?
Well, I mean, I think what the president was saying is that Hezbollah is shrewd in their tactics, which is true. And he's saying that by advertising a supposed weakness that the Israelis have regarding an attack from the north, the Americans or the United States made that attack more likely. I don't think I agree with that. I think Hezbollah is making their independent determinations about what they're going to do. I personally don't think we're going to see a major attack from Hezbollah. I think Iran knows what will happen if that were to occur, and I think Iran is going to play a longer game here, and they're going to try and prune the Saudis away from Israel. I think that's probably their number one concern, and so I doubt that at least in the immediate future we're going to see that kind of an attack from the north.
I hope. The leader of Hamas, in his luxury apartment in Qatar, called for a day of jihad tomorrow, globally, worldwide. And we have a very porous border with God only knows how many bad actors that have streamed into the country. Are you fearful about what life may be like here in a phase 2?
Yeah, well, listen, I think if you were running Hamas or Hezbollah, you've got to be thinking about infiltrating agents through our southern border because it's so porous. That was never a major concern of mine because I always thought it was easier for them to get agents in through ports of call, like in the Northeast.
Right.
But the South is so open now. It's an open invitation to anybody who wants to come in and injure the United States or engage in crime. It's an absolutely senseless, self-destructive policy, and it's just it's inexplicable that we would be following it.
10 seconds. They almost certainly have people here now, right?
Well, yeah, they have sleeper cells already that they could activate. I mean, everybody believes that.
Jim Talent, we will talk all sorts about what the next few weeks mean in subsequent weeks. You can follow him at Jim Talent on Twitter. Read him over at the Bipartisan Policy Center. Thanks, Jim.